this is better. Start from zero, got nothing to lose. Maybe we'll make something. Me, myself, I got nothing to prove. You got a fast car, and I got a plan to get us out of here. Been working at the convenience store. There's to save just a little bit of money. Won't have to drive too far, just across the border and into the city. You and I can both get jobs, understand what it means to be living. 'Cause my old man's got a problem. He lived with the boss and wins. Despite so old for working, his body's too young to look like this. My mama went off and left him. She wanted more from life than he could give. I said somebody's gotta take care of him, so I quit school and that's what I did. You got a fast car. Is it fast enough so we can find a way? We gotta make a decision. Live together, live and die this way. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speeding so fast I felt like I was drunk. Sitting out, laid out before, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone. You got a fast car. We go cruising, entertain ourselves. You still ain't got a job, so I work in the market as a checkout girl. I know things will get better. You'll find work and I'll keep promoting it. We'll move out of the shelter, buy a bigger house and live in the suburbs. So I remember we were driving in your car. Speeding so fast I felt like I was drunk. Sitting last laid out before, and your arm felt nice wrapped around my shoulder. And I had a feeling that I belonged. I had a feeling I could be someone, be someone, be someone.
Alright, good evening everyone. Welcome to round one of the AMX Asphalt Off-Road Street Stock Series. My name is Frank Monak. I'm going to be calling the action for you tonight, as we got about 3 more minutes worth of warm-up here. 7 vehicles make up the field as of right now. I'm going to be turning some laps here tonight at Crandon, the short configuration. So I'm looking forward to kicking off round 1 of 4. It's a mini series. If you're just tuning in and run iRacing and want to get in on this, it is going to be an open hosted for the next 4 weeks. So be sure to search AMX iRacing on the open hosted, or join us amxiracing.com for all the information to tune in live timing, chat, all that good stuff. So the format tonight, we're going to do a couple heat races, 4 laps each. Top 3 are going to advance with 7 drivers, so I don't see that being an issue. Probably not going to do an LCQ tonight, and we'll just have a 15 lap main event tonight with a comp caution at the end of lap 7. So it should keep the night moving along pretty well, as the drivers get about 90 seconds left of practice here, and I'll be back shortly to call the action for you. Stay tuned. Right, as the checkered flag comes out here, wrapping it up, Chase Greer is going to be your fastest here in practice with a 41.47. Behind him, Taylor Vandenbush of 41.95. Solomon with a 42.11. As we get ready to go into heat number 1. And random draw for tonight, it's going to be looking like Chase Greer, Nick Nowak with him, Jonathan Pepin, Frank Monak. Unfortunately, I am calling the action tonight, so I will not be on the field with you. Thomas Brendel, Solomon Boschener, Taylor Vandenbush, Jeffrey Latch, and Anthony Janes. Just waiting for them to grid on up. Waiting on a few drivers still. Probably some last second changes to the adjustment. We got about 10 seconds left before we turn them loose. It's going to be a land rush start, so watch for turn 1, because that always makes it exciting. Going to see if Thomas Brindle. Nope, so we're going to be going green for heat 1. And we're off. Trying to see who's going to get the whole shot here. Taylor Vandenbush has been strong. Oh, got one spinning out. Looks like Nick Nowak. As we got Solomon out front. Taylor Vandenbush behind him. Oh, some contact there. That's going to put them into the wall there. Some more chaos. Looks like Anthony Janes suffered there as well. But Chase Greer made it through. He's going to capture the P1. And fortunately for us, everyone's going to transfer. It's just a battle of position at this point. As Chase Greer is out front, Jonathan Pepin about 3.5 seconds behind him with Jeffrey Latch in pursuit. See if he can't close the gap there at all. I see Taylor Van den Busch lurking behind Latch. And Nick Nowak's making a little comeback here after a rough start to this heat. 4 laps is going to go quickly. And Chase Greer with a commanding lead at this point. Closest battle here is going to be for second with Jeffrey behind him. Oh, excuse me, waiting for timing and scoring to catch up. Trying to make sense of it here. Sorry, that's Jonathan. Oh, some contact there into the wall. Chase Greer with about 10.5 seconds. He's pretty much on cruise control right now. Elsewhere, you got Taylor Van den Busch trying to run in Jonathan. Sorry, still trying to wait for timing and scoring to kind of sort itself out. The 29 is Jeffrey. So we'll jump on board with him here. Because time is very quickly running out. Take a look here at Nick Nowak. Fortunately, he was able to recover from that that hellacious start, but all the way back up to third right now, so I'm sure he's pretty happy with that. Van den Busch. Looks like up to third. As we are under the white flag here. Watching Chase Greer essentially do a parade lap. 12.5 seconds over second place Nick Nowak. That is quite a commanding lead. And one I am sure he is happy with. So Chase Greer, your heat winner. Looking at Nick Nowak trying to fend off Taylor Van den Busch. Van den Busch getting a little sideways there with some contact. Nick Nowak's going to take the second spot. Van den Busch behind him. Looks like Solomon's going to cross the line. Waiting on Jeffrey and Anthony. So not a bad heat race, not a bad start to round one. As we wait for everybody else here to finish. And while they start their warm-up, we'll jump on board with some of them as they turn some laps. Got about 5 minutes, and we'll start the main event, so stand by. As we got the 1 minute marker coming out, just a reminder that next week will be round 2, Tuesday night, 9 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock on the West Coast. Again, anyone who wants to run the series, we invite you to come on out and have some fun. It's a different feel bringing something that's designed for asphalt to a place like Crandon or Wild West, Bark River. It's a challenge to drive and a lot of fun. So if you're interested, check us out, amxiracing.com. All the information's there, how to get connected with us on Discord, and how to join the series. So we got about 10 seconds left here before we bring the cars in and get ready for our main event tonight. Again, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I got the chat up, so if you got a favorite driver in here, feel free to give them some love. They love seeing that stuff when they review their footage, and it always makes it fun. So with that, looks like we're going to finish up with the warm-up. And let's go ahead and introduce our drivers for tonight. All right, you saw it. Chase Greer is going to be starting us off on the inside. Outside of him, Nick Nowak, Taylor Vandenbush, Jeffrey Latch, Solomon Borschinger, Anthony James, Jonathan Pepin, and then Thomas, who unfortunately is not going to be joining us tonight. Waiting for everyone to get gridded up. Again, it's going to be 15 laps. We'll throw a competition caution after lap 7, as we are about to go green here. We'll see who gets a good start. As it's looking like Solomon might have the jump with Taylor Vandenbush behind him. Let's see how everyone... No, we got contact off the face of the jump. Hopefully most everyone's going to make it through there. Not sure who got collected, but right now all the eyes are on Solomon and Vandenbush going at it. With about Chase Greer about a 2.5 seconds behind Solomon. Very clean first lap for these two. Chase Greer, we saw what he did and he won, so I would not count him out at all. He's got the speed, he's got the consistency to run down Taylor and Solomon. Sit in 4th place, Jonathan, with Nick Nowak right behind him. Nick's had good speed tonight. We'll see if he's going to be able to throw it on the inside here. But Jonathan's going to get the drive on the outside. Let's go ahead and ride on board here with Nick Nowak. This looks like Vandenbush dropped to 3rd. Chase Greer able to get around him. It looks like Nick Nowak took a bad bounce there, so he's going to take a minute to recover. So Chase Greer right now is in pursuit of this man, Solomon Boeschinger. I've been told he's kind of a sleeper. No one kind of really saw him coming. He performed well in practice yesterday, and rumor has Chase, who's the defending series champion, is going to have his hands full. As we looks like start lap 3 here. Trying to get a sense of where everybody else is at here. Anthony James trying to run down Jeffrey. Anthony's had good speed in practice, so I would not be surprised if he's able to close the gap on Jeffrey and Nick up there. He's always been a clutch driver. Nick Nowak running strong fourth. Unfortunately has a huge deficit over Taylor, Chase, and Solomon. Fortunately, that competition caution will give him a chance to make up that ground. Let's check up front here. Solomon having some connection issues, kind of blinking in and out there. But Solomon Chase Greer putting on a drive right now, trying to catch him as we ride on board with him. Just watch how smooth he is through these turns, the amount of control he has. You can tell he spent a lot of time practicing. He's one of the OGs when it comes to the street stocks on this off-road format. Taylor Vandenbush not too far behind, about 3 seconds behind Greer. A little bit further back in the pack here, you got Anthony James trying to run down Nick Nowak. Got about just over a second deficit to make up there. As we jump back up front with Solomon. Putting in a solid performance here. But he's got one more lap here until we're going to go under caution and give everybody else a chance to restack. Because I see some speed here. I see Nick Nowak, Anthony James, Jeffrey. They're kind of got put in that deficit there from that first lap chaos, but I truly feel you put them back on the bumper. They could be a challenge. Everyone's pretty much running in line right now. Not too much movement in the field. As we're going to watch Solomon here take the caution this time by. And with that, we will go ahead and allow everyone a chance to stack back up. As right now, it looks like Boschinger in first, Chase Greer behind him, Taylor Vandenbush is going to be third, Anthony James with Nick Nowak, we can see at the top of the screen there, crossing the line. Jeffrey Latch, and then Jonathan Pepin. Fortunately, he's going to be able to get a lap back. If he is still in, I'm trying to see if he is still running at this point. We'll give everyone a chance to stack it back up. We'll get going here in a moment. All right. As they come out of the turn here, Solomon's going to be the control car. He will lead them to green here. As we are back under green here. Looks like Taylor Vandenbush is going to capitalize on the restart here. Drive it low on the inside of Chase. Anthony back there as well. Anthony taking a pretty strange bounce there, but it's going to work for him. He's going to be able to grip and drive the inside. Is he going to be able to get the drive on Vandenbush? Looks like Van den Busch is going to be able to hold the position. Nick Nowak lurking back there as well. Solomon still holding on to that lead with a great restart. But Chase Greer is looking for redemption here. So right on board with Greer. Again, just beautiful control through that corner. A little further back, Anthony James looking to close the gap on Van den Busch as well, with Nick Nowak in pursuit of them both. Looks like Chase Greer's making maybe a little bit of headway. But more or less still pretty much in line. I do know that Solomon's got a mirror full of this guy right here, because he's been relentless. But I'm sure Taylor Van den Busch here is looking to capitalize, as they're going to go pretty much 2 by 2 into the final turn here. Is Solomon going to be able to keep that position against the champ? And looks like Chase Greer is going to be able to get around him. Does Solomon have anything to answer back with? Looking like no, not currently on this lap. But Solomon's a smart driver. He tends to plan his attacks. Catch some action right here up front, because this is where all the eyes are. And now Taylor Van den Busch is going to be lurking back here as well. Probably banking on Chase and Solomon to make a mistake. Laps are ticking down as we start working lap 13 here. A little bit of contact from Van den Busch, giving Bochinger a little push there. Chase Greer, I'm sure, is really happy that they're battling back there as he tries to pull away about a second and a half, give himself some breathing room. Van den Busch kind of backed off a little bit there, as we're back pretty much 2 by 2. Real quick, while they're battling up there, we'll jump back here. Latch and Nowak battling over 5th place here. They got Anthony James in their view. But looking back up front, Solomon is all over Chase Greer right now. Trying desperately to make something happen, as he is very quickly running out of time. On board here with Solomon. That's what that gap looks like. Under a second. As, look at that. Taylor Van den Busch throws it in low. Not able to make it stick. But Solomon knows he's there for sure. And he's going to be perfect. And Taylor's going to bring it in low and lose it in the turn as we go under the white flag. Is Taylor going to be able to get it going in time? Where is Anthony? Anthony about 20 seconds back, so they're really no factor. Nick Nowak behind him. As we're back up front here, Solomon again in pursuit of Chase Greer. And at this point, Taylor Van den Busch is about 4.5 seconds behind them, so really not too much of a factor. Unless something catastrophic here happens, but looks like Chase Greer is going to take the checkered flag here at round 1. With Solomon Bochinger behind him. And Taylor Van Bush, unfortunately, that spin out is not going to go his way here in the opening round. So with that, give us a second. We'll try to grab some driver interviews. We'll be right back. All right, let's take a look at the results, how they stacked up for this feature. You got Chase Greer taking the win tonight, Solomon Boschner second, Taylor Van Bush third, Anthony James was able to hold off Nick Nowak for fourth, Jeffrey Latch sixth, and Jonathan Pepin seventh. And unfortunately, it looks like Thomas was not able to join us tonight, but he's going to get credited with the eighth spot. So with that, let's see if we got anybody here in the waiting room. And we'll see if we can't get anybody on up here.
You've got mail.
Yes, we do. All right. Taylor Van Bush taking home the third spot tonight. You put on a great performance. Looks like you got a little ugly there in that final turn, about a lap to go. Take us through what was going on and how you felt the night went overall for you.
It was a great night, Frank. It was a good race, and yeah, I sent it in a little too hard. I was pushing hard to catch Solomon. He's fast out of nowhere today. Um, yeah, I overcooked it and went around, and it is what it is. It was my own mistake, but
I was
overall a good finish.
I was gonna say, honestly, um, even though you got a little ugly there, I mean, to walk away with a third in the opening night, you got plenty of time to recover, and I definitely see you got the speed, and I agree with you. I've heard Solomon in practice has been kind of a sleeper, where suddenly he shows up with a bunch of speed. So, any ideas on how you're going to kind of tackle that moving forward?
Make sure I'm in front of him at the finish. That's my plan.
Ah,
But
ain't that the
it's good to
truth?
see him going fast though. It's been a while.
Yeah, I was gonna say, as just a trim teammate, I'm sure as the owner, you can't be too upset seeing one of your proteges out there making you proud. So,
Yeah, little by little he's learning to go faster. So he definitely showed it today. That's for sure.
all right, my friend. Well, I'm sure there's some people you want to thank, and I'll let you get back to celebrating.
Yeah, I guess we'll start off with thanking Frank and us at AMX. This is our first race of this season. But I also want to thank Just Trim, obviously, and RTL, K&K Contracting, and that'll be it.
Well, very good. All right, my friend. Well, I look forward to seeing you round two next week, and we'll see what type of performance you put on.
Later, Frank.
All right, you take it easy, my friend. All right, joining me now, second place tonight, Solomon. Wow, you came out of the gate with some outstanding speed. Even Taylor, in his interview with you, or with me before you, was really surprised with how much practice and performance you put in. So, take us through tonight. How did it feel being up front and then having Chase battle you down, and then some pressure there by Taylor?
Yeah, it was a good race overall. I was just a little disappointed on how the heat race turned out. Could have felt like we could have done a whole lot better there, but couldn't really ask much more for the main event. Getting a good hole shot and just running the track as much as I could. Uh, I loved the gap I had before the halfway point, but I knew coming to the comp caution that it was going to be more trouble because I got Jason Taylor up behind my butt. But after that, just tried to run my lines and stay consistent. And eventually, Chase found one of my little mistakes coming into gravel and just try to chase after him while defending Taylor. But other than that, just trying to run clean laps and stay smooth was the big game for today.
Yeah, I mean, all in all, I personally would not be disappointed with that performance. Any ideas kind of going into Wild West next week? Any strategy calls or anything you see yourself maybe working on a little bit to try to gain some ground there on Chase?
Yeah, just gonna have to go back to the drawing board with the setup, just make sure we're on the same page with that, and work on some of the corner entry and exit, stay consistent and smooth. It's a lot of bullpen, just 180s, so we'll see how we can do there.
Well, very good. Well, I'm sure you got some people you want to thank, and so I'll let you do that. But all in all, it was fantastic watching. It was great to call the race. It was a lot of fun from up here in the booth. So, yeah, please go ahead and give your shout outs.
Yeah, first things first, I want to thank AMXI Racing for putting this on. I always enjoy it when the Asphalt Street Stocks head back out on tour. Got to also thank my sponsors, K&K Contracting, Just the Trim, Lawn Service, Just the Trim, iRacing. Let me think here for a second. K&K, Just the Trim, AMXI Racing, Chase Gear Motorsports, and all my friends that have been helping me out, getting slower, getting faster and faster every single time.
Well, very good, my friend. Well, I look forward to seeing you next week, and you have a wonderful week.
All right, thanks very much.
All right, and tonight's winner, it was a hard-fought battle all the way to the end. I saw you, Chase, closing that gap quick, and I had a feeling once the competition caution came out and you guys had a chance to kind of restack, it was going to be game on. And I got to say, my friend, you did not disappoint. What was it like trying to race down Solomon and put that move on him and make it stick?
Yeah, hopefully that was a fun one to watch. Yeah, had a little bit of contact out the start, fell back a little bit. Thankfully, he was up to second by the halfway caution, and Solomon was being consistent. I was able to stick with him, reel in just a tiny bit at a time, and thankfully was kind of positioned well just when he made a mistake heading into gravel pits. So just was able to capitalize from there, get alongside, and was able to take the spot in Calamity. So heck of a fun race. Hopefully we can get some more cars here next time.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, it was a blast to call from up here in the booth, especially that second half. Even seeing the chat really kind of blow up with how much people were enjoying it. But yeah, any thoughts going into next week or how you're going to run the series? Kind of, you are the defending champ, so do you feel like you got a big target on your back?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a lot of fast guys in these cars, so I think everyone's got a target on their back. It's just a matter of keeping consistent and making sure not to make any mistakes. So, yeah, hopefully you can run the whole series, and hopefully we can get a few more cars. So these guys have put on a great little mini series. It's a great group of guys to run with, and this is definitely a fun, fairly relaxed but fast type of racing. These type of cars are kind of what I grew up racing in real life for the most part, so it's a good way to go back to it. So I got to thank Raceline Wheels, Willow Mountain Lumber LLC, Blood Lubricants, racetreads.com. You can use code CG24 on your next set of tires or any tire order shipped directly to your door. So yeah, it was an awesome, fun race. Looking forward to next week.
Absolutely, my friend. I'm eager to see what you guys can do up front, and yeah, you're just amazed me how fast you are in these things. You make it look so easy, especially riding on board. So with that, I'll let you go back to celebrating. But thank you again for an awesome show tonight, and we look forward to seeing you next week at Wild West.
Sounds good. Thank you for broadcasting. Hope everyone enjoyed, and we'll see you next week.
Very good. Well, let's take a look real quick while we have this moment. See if we get some points updated here. And looks like unofficial, we got Chase Greer with that heat race win and the win tonight. It's going to be 105 with Solomon, Taylor Vanden Bush, and Nick Nowak not too far behind. So we'll get these points official here with some extra bonus points and whatnot and get them published going into next week. So with that, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone tuning in. It was a blast. So stay tuned next week. We're going to take it to Wild West, always a wild time. Same time at all of the streaming platforms here on Twitch, Facebook, Kick, YouTube, and check us out online, amxiracing.com. So with that, I want to thank everyone again for tuning in. You all have a wonderful evening.